Hello and welcome. This is Kristen from the Online Selling Show, and I'm here with a special episode today. It is a retake, really, of what was my goals for the 2025 season. I've been an e-commerce seller for 22 years. I started this business as a hobby, and it just rolled and kept snowballing into what has been the family sole source of income now since 2017. I do sell between multiple sales platforms in that business. And then in 2024, in June, I started this new eBay channel in conjunction with my eBay store that I want to use during the time period when we retire. And I think we've agreed it's going to be about 3 years. We were looking at 2 to 3, but I think we're agreeing on 3 years right now. And what's happening is that I brought the YouTube channel on with this eBay because I want it to be a 6-figure income, meaning after all expenses. I realize that 6-figure income will have income tax on it, but I want that to be basically a source of income. Not that we're going to necessarily need it, but I also feel that for you in this world of following me on the journey, if I just said I wanted to make an extra $2,000 a month, that doesn't really I feel from doing this for so many years, that's not that out of the realm. I need to have this business become very big because I think a lot of people are going to be naysayers and say, oh, that whatever. To become a 6-figure income is going to take some tenacity. It is going to take some know-how. It's going to take determination. There's a lot of words and actions that's going to be needed in this. And I'm here to prove and show you it can be done. Now, for me, I have 3 basic things that I'm looking for in a business sense. The number one being that wholesale business where it is the family sole source of income, what I have been doing for 22 years. And that one pretty much is not necessarily on autopilot in the sense of the way it's run, by all means. No, that's the one we want to retire from. But in the way that I plan for that business, it has been in such a, like, what do they call that? Lather, rinse, repeat. It has been in that cycle for so long that it's so simplistic and easy for me to talk about that one because we're just coming off the selling season of 2024. I did the first video and I realized that it was never really done in this format. I did it more in I like to do them in a rough draft where it's just me talking and I'm driving. So I had to kind of redo this, but that business, I have done what I would say is I come up with about 2 words for the year of what I'm looking for to accomplish as a goal in that business. And for many years, they all have been pretty much the same words, which is simplicity and efficiency. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And the reason I'm going to focus more on that, because it goes hand in hand. It's a dovetail thing for anybody trying to accomplish success with an eBay reselling. And I tell you this story not to flex where I've been or what I've done. I'm here flexing what my mistakes were so that you can learn from that. And when I started eBay, like I said, it was 22 years ago. There wasn't a whole lot of people doing it. And then I kind of got out of it because I was a new mother. Things were getting kind of hectic and crazy at home. And then my husband and I we were starting to look to get into the rental business, and we were doing different seminars and things like that. And somebody brought about how eBay could be this way to be very successful. And my husband was like, why did you stop? And I said, because it was just getting crazy and hectic. So we made it a point then to basically come in, and this was around 2004, and start making it more of an income for the family. And it wasn't long after that Amazon came out with the FBA model. And I say all this because the way things lined up for me, it just evolved very fast and very quickly. And I don't do anything in half measures. I just never have. And through the use of Amazon with the warehouses and me trying to be doing this with my husband's assistance at this point and trying to build it into something more readily for an income, more steady of an, that kind of thing, we I went then into the wholesale business. I really started to dip my toes into it. And I had that place of the platform and the storage coming in with Amazon's FBA model that honestly, over the course of 10 years, I got that business up to a 7-figure gross. I was so focused on the top line that I wanted to have a 7-figure business. I went through so many trials and tribulations, and I think it's like any of us, we get into this and we don't have any formal background. I didn't have any formal background in that. I went to college. I was doing quasi law enforcement by working for the state, and I was nowhere prepared for things like cost of goods and cash flow and looking at the velocity. I mean, there was none of this in my background. I didn't have anybody in my family that I could be looking and questioning. They were all tradespeople, and I just kind of fell into it, and I got so able to build a business quickly without having all of that in my house because it was at the Amazon FBA, but I did have some at the house. That's where the evolution came in, where we had a warehouse built on our property, and it all came to a head when I wasn't able to make the best business decisions because I didn't know what decisions I was supposed to make. And there was a lot of things along the way that I should have fired people. I had a lot of redundancy in the sense of programs and softwares that were doing very similar things, but one may have one piece that was what I expected was the necessity of what it needed to be. And I'll be honest, there was times where because of the growth, I think the people that I were hiring kind of fired me because they couldn't handle that much growth that quickly. And there was people I should have fired that didn't. And this all came to a head at the worst time, which was when my husband had joined the business, and we were forced into having to make this a do or die, sink or swim, whatever cliche you want to put to it. And we decided at that point, this needed to become as simplistic and as profitable as we were going to get it. And efficiency was the number one word. And I'm going to tell you, those simplicity and efficiency has been what I have just lived by as much as I can for at least the last 5 years, because I've realized that all of that effort getting into building that top line didn't wash out to be the most profitable. We became more profitable after we focused on efficiency and simplicity than focusing on getting those gross sales. So at the same time of us having to see where we weren't inefficient and stuff was when Amazon really started to rein in the third-party sellers, because they were having to build all of these warehouses and they couldn't keep up with all the warehouses. This was pre-COVID days as well, so don't think that COVID was a part of this. It was not. But in that like 2000 to 14, 15 era up until today, Amazon has become as hard to do for those not maintaining their business as it can get, because they are now, with all the extra fees and everything else they've charged, made it so that if you don't maintain your business in a number sense, you're going to be out of business very quickly for various reasons. And I'm not here to talk about Amazon. I'm here to talk about the eBay business. And that's where I'm saying is that through that business and seeing what that business has gone through, I have to have this new eBay business as efficient, as simplistic as can be. That is already the core foundation for that business. What happens in the goal planning for me on that other business that I said, my wholesale business, where it is through like a lather, rinse, repeat, that business is one that we're just coming off the holiday season right now. And the first quarter in that business has always been basically dealing with all of the old business. And what do I mean? That's all the taxes, getting all the bookkeeping together. That just is has to happen so that you can get bookkeeping filed. So that is like always what's going on in that. And during that time period, I'm making all of the orders for the next holiday season. So that's where I'm coming in and basically saying, okay, we're not reordering product. We're not bringing this in for whatever reason. We go in, we delete it out. If we no longer have any, it's deleted out of all of our software systems, anywheres and everywheres that it's touched, because a lot of these software systems and stuff, I'm based on my fees, on what storage is being used, and I need to get that old out of there. I've learned that very quickly, is to get out as quick as I can that old stuff, to just get it gone. It frees up space. It frees up mental space. There's a lot of different things for that. Get it gone. So the first quarter is cleaning up all of that old stuff. If it's stuff that didn't sell, I'm not, what am I going to do with it? That's the time when I start trying to mark down and make a plan for how I want to get it sold and gone. This is why we're talking about now doing the liquidation with one of the estate sale companies, because there are still things that even after marking down hasn't gone. It's still there. So we want to get that addressed in the first quarter. Second quarter for me is now where I'm focused on the new. That's where I'm finalizing orders. I'm contacting vendors. Is there stuff that's not going to come in? There's various reasons why I may have placed orders and stuff isn't coming in. And I don't want to be trying to get that stuff listed in all of our software systems and then find out it's not coming in. So that's where the listings are getting created, photos are being accessed, and all that stuff is going on in that preparation in the second quarter. Third quarter is basically when all the orders are coming in and deliveries are coming. I'm having to very much maintain what's on back order, when expected to come, because I want to be as efficient. I don't want them to just mail me one case of something and pay like $30 for a case pack that may wholesale be like a $40 value, and now I paid $40 for shipping. So that's keeping efficiency in place, maintaining what's coming in between what's going on in the warehouse here, what's en route. That's what third quarter is about. And fourth quarter is just making all the sales, catching as much money as I can during that season. And then we start it all over again. And that's been going on in that business for well over a decade now. So the new eBay store, you're hearing, it's like, well, what do you said all that, but I have to maintain those same foundation stones in this new eBay business, or I already know I'm going to have those same problems. It's just the reality. There's certain things in business that will be, if you're not watching the numbers and you're not watching some of the aspects that are always going to be there, how much physical space that you have to warehouse this stuff. You could have a lot of it and it's getting damaged because it's sitting there. You could not have cash flow because it's all wrapped up in that. I mean, there's so many things that the lessons I learned in that other business have to come over into this new eBay business, and it's got to be there from the very beginning. So that's what I'm very much focused on in building this new eBay store, and I'm hoping that message comes through in these videos. Some of the stuff I may be talking at length about, but there's an education in there. I don't want to present in my videos just this glamorous, yeah, I bought this for $40 and I sold it for $100, because there are other things in there. What if I went to that estate sale and I bought $300 worth of stuff and that was the only item that sold? I could buy it for $40, sell it for $100, and still be underwater for $200 and maintaining all of that stock that's still there. These are things and why I'm trying to be very conservative in the construction and growth of the business. So my words for that business is growth, and still efficiency is coming in that business. For the second business, the goal for me in that business is growth between the eBay channel. I would like to get it monetized in 2025. The YouTube channel, I very much want a regularity of when the stuff is coming up, because I know I watch people and I know that like every Saturday a new video is coming up, and it's like, oh, let me see what their video this week is. And I need to get myself on a regular schedule with that, but it's also going to build efficiency as well. So those are the words for that. I do plan to probably hit more sales through this coming year because I have the full year now. I do have an expectation that, again, is efficiency. This eBay business, I want growth from. That six-figure income in the I want it to be in 2 years from now. I want to be able to start the 2028 year and say we are making six figures. And one of the other things I know is that I'm going to have very regulated efficiency being there is that a product that comes on and gets listed, I'm talking overall picture product, overall big picture of how I'm going to be efficient, is that when product gets bought, I want it to be able to have 90 days of being available. On the 91st day, which month 3 to 4, that will be offered up on probably weekend sales with a 25% discount, maybe coupons, whatever, in that 25%-ish, because if something is being liked, I may offer them 27%, but I'm talking roughly 25%. Then once month 4 to 5 hits, then they're going to be moved into a discounting of 50% because I want to get it moved. And then the final phase becomes month 5 to 6, they're going to be marked down to 75%, where when it hits month 6, that stuff is basically going to be going out the door to Goodwill. The only exceptions I'm expecting to make in this model, obviously if I picked up Easter in June, I have to give it an opportunity to get to Easter. Or let's say I pick up Halloween in March. If it comes in and I get to Halloween and it hasn't sold, then starting November 1st, it will go to 50%. December 1st, it will go to 75%, and then out the door. The only things I'm seeing as exceptions, like I said, is stuff that are seasonal, bought off season, or in the event where I've chosen to maybe split stuff up and sell. Like if I can think right now, I picked up a bunch of push pin ornaments and I put them out individually. I then may, at the end of the 6 months, take a very defined period of time, put them all up as a group, maybe do 2 or 3 cycles of them going up as an auction maybe, and then giving them maybe a month or something and push them out the door. That's just how I'm seeing how that will go. I do have a video in mind that I want to do. If you have never heard of it, it is called the Fast Nickel Slow Dime. And my husband, I was not aware, I knew in my head that this was the concept, but I never knew that that's what it was called. And I think it would behoove not just me, but all of us to re-go through where and see it on paper, how it makes sense to do that. And this is where the efficiency for this eBay store is going to come in, because if I keep the inventory moving, I'm going to be not getting myself overboard of storage of goods. The other thing needs to be that this stuff comes in, I'm getting these videos done very efficiently in that week. The stuff is getting listed, and it's done in a week of a defined period of time. So my son, my husband, we have all talked about this. We know where the goal of this current money will be going. It is earmarked for something for our household already. So it's going to behoove all 3 of us to be on board with it. And I think I'm going to be able to get some assistance. And we're talking about a way to keep the business all 12 months being available for purchase and not closing it down. So that's my second. My third is the crafting channel is already got over 1,000 subscribers on it. I've pretty much let it go dormant, and I need to get it out of hibernation. I need to get the watch hours up, and that channel needs to get monetized. There needs to be growth and basically regularity in that. I'm already seeing in my own personal planning, I talked about how I have a planner, that with me being accountable at the end of the day as I'm doing things, writing stuff down, I'm seeing where I'm being very productive, where I may not have recognized it, but I'm also seeing that the crafting isn't coming in, and I need to feed that creative side of me. And through that and regularity of videos going up, I'm going to get that viewership. I was close to having it before everything kind of went into hibernation. So that channel will be just more of a hobby for me, but I'm putting it in here because it's another thing that I know needs to be on the plate and have its own defined plan, and it has to have its own defined schedule to be able to do it. And I need to give myself that breathing room to explore where that one can go. So that is where it's going to be. To wrap it back up, I am going to just run all of them as efficiently as I can. I am using my experiences through the wholesale business model to give me the foundation of how to better run this new eBay store. This new eBay store basically is just going to be the online selling channel show. I have a few plans in mind already of some other outside business models that I wanted to bring in and kind of highlight, because when you get into being a true entrepreneur, you are going to start seeing how you are constantly evaluating, you're constantly seeing businesses around you, and you need to open your mind up to how there's other plans, other things, because sometimes you may get yourself stuck doing something that you really don't want to do, like let's say a consignment, because you're not thinking that there's other opportunities around you and that's going to be the only one. When you open your mind up to other opportunities, you'll be surprised at how many ways there really is to make money. So I want to make sure that when I'm doing this new eBay business, I am bringing it in as a hyper-focused and way to do this, because I know in my retirement, I am going to want to do so many other things like traveling, enjoying the holiday, doing some other things like maybe some classes, and I can't get myself bogged down in this new eBay business. And then I want to give myself that time to explore and do the things that I want to do creatively in that other channel that I have for my third channel. So I hope this gives you some idea. One of the things, if I did not say it at the beginning, I'm going to say it again. If I did, is that I did not start planning this stuff on January 1st. It needs to start happening weeks, if not 4 to 6 weeks before the new year. You need to take the ground running in January 1st, or it's just going to already set you up behind the 8 ball. If you start planning on January 1st, you're realistically not going to get into it until like the 3rd week of January, and you're behind already. You've already lost almost a whole month probably out of the first quarter, and then it's just not going to set you up for success for the rest of the year. So I hope this gives you some good things to think about, maybe some things you want to do for your own planning in your own business. I would appreciate a thumbs up if you do get some good information out of this. Please leave some comments down below. How can I help you if you have problems to help? Because I tell you, I do think very well in systems, oversight of things, and I'd be more than happy to help give you some just comments on what could be a direction to take for yourself. I ask that you always put things in a constructive light. If we want to sit here and I could be as negative as anybody else with how things are not going to work out and stuff, but I found that it just doesn't work in lifting me up and getting me going. It just isn't constructive, I guess would be the way to say it. And the last thing I would ask is, could you please hit that subscribe button down below? It would help me grow this channel, and it's going to put my future videos in your feed. I'm going to say bye for now, and let's make 2025 as prosperous as we possibly can.